Imagine waking up to the sound of birds singing,
instead of the sound of traffic, seeing stars in the night sky instead of streetlights.
And finally having our own space to grow our own food and breathe.
Sounds dreamy, right? But for us, it's not just a dream, it's a choice. A choice to leave behind the noise, the stress, the city life, and embrace a simpler and more meaningful way of living.
Good morning! Breathe, 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 come on!
Hi, we are The Mills.
And we've decided to take a step towards a simpler, more intentional life.
We are swapping the hustle and bustle of busy town life for the peace and privacy of the countryside. And here's why.
From the mental health benefits of living in the countryside,
To teaching our kids to be more resourceful and self-sufficient.
this is all about choosing simplicity, space and community over clutter and chaos,
Join us as we share what is driving this transforming life decision.
and how it's already transforming how we see the world and ourselves.
So if you've seen our 2025's goals video, we speak a lot about focusing on kind of our mental well-being, what we want to do, our focuses for next year, our not so smart goals. So take a look at that video. That was quite a eye-opener for us to make, actually understood where we actually are currently struggling in our everyday life. So some of the main reasons we do want to move to the countryside for us is to be closer to nature. For me, I did actually grow up in a farm setting, which was absolutely lovely. I probably didn't appreciate it as much at the time growing up. All I wanted to do was escape to a little bit of, things are happening in life and, some more city lights, as it were. But as I've got older, we realised actually getting back to nature is definitely more key for us. We want to kind of reduce our stress levels. For me, I find just being out in the countryside, my heart rate is 10, 20 beats per minute, a lot less than what it is when I'm either at work or when I'm at home. So I know from a health point of view, I'm truly more at peace when we're out in the countryside, and I think the kids are when we do have time outside. They are the same, along with Philippa too. So that, being in the nature, being in the countryside, also has a massive impact on our mental health. I feel like my brain is clear when I'm out here. It's not fogged up with all the hecticness of town and city life. And for us, having time, trying to feed the birds and enjoying ourselves is key. The kids are actually really enjoying themselves today. For me personally, the simple things in life are those things that are worth the most. We're having a lovely walk today, feeding the birds. The kids are enjoying themselves. Everyone's in a good mood. We're getting some fresh air, we're getting some exercise. And I think all those things that we had problems with previously and we've experienced maybe over the last 6 months is our health, fitness, mental health. We're very lethargic, and these things do make us realise that actually this stuff is way more important. And for us, bird feeding is a great escape from all of that. Homegrown food is a very important thing for us. We want to try and make sure we're eating healthier. Living in the country does limit a lot of temptation from ordering takeaway. Where we live in this town, in this very big, busy area, there's an abundance of choice. There's a lot going on, and it's very easy to, I suppose, be a little bit lazy and go for the convenience over actually what is better for you. So moving out to the countryside will limit our temptations and limit our ability to want to go for takeaway. We want to do as much home cooking as we can. We want to make sure that we are growing what we can as well. We are realistic. Being fully self-sufficient is an extremely hard, and I suppose that might not necessarily be the most cost-effective way to do things to start with, but we want to start as we mean to go on. You know, look at what our options are, look at what we can do, you know, baby steps as far as that's concerned. So then we can have some, you know, then we can make sure that we are getting the goodness into us, the nutritional side of things, and those things will have an overall health impact to us as well. From our point of view, what we wanted to do is try to be as resourceful as we possibly can. We want to be able to have some more space, be able to teach our kids around where food comes from, the fact that it doesn't come from a shiny packet in the supermarket. One of our issues that we have here is we just don't have enough space to be able to explore our possibilities, grow our own food fully, and again teach the kids what to do. Living in a town obviously limits us with space, so we do have quite a standard residential garden. We want an element of play area, but that then limits where we can grow things and you know, have the possibility of chickens. That's one of the key things that we want to do when we move to the country. We also want to be able to continue using a larger greenhouse for winter months to be able to keep the food produce going, and we just don't have the space here to do that. We mentioned about getting pigs. Thanos not a massive fan of that because he knows that they may go to the pig heaven. Thanos, who's a pescatarian in our family, isn't a massive fan of pigs. And to be fair, Naomi loves bacon. She doesn't want pigs either for that particular reason. So what we want to do is start off small, be able to grow our own vegetables, have chickens, and see how we go from there. There's a lot to learn. We want to be able to teach that to the kids. We want to learn ourselves, and we're doing a lot of research into what it takes to be able to be not fully self-sufficient, but enough to be able to put food on our table and to educate the children on where that comes.
I personally want and probably need now a big shift in our lifestyle. I got to a point where I'm very often very anxious. I worry about all the crime that is going on around us. We live in a busy town and very close to an airport, so we can't avoid noise and light pollution anymore. It's just always around us. And finally, we really want some privacy, know that we can be in our garden without being overlooked. I do look forward to walking out of our property straight onto a field or a riverbank, somewhere we can walk without worrying about all the cars around us.
For me, living in the village was definitely quiet and peaceful, and looking back on some of these videos, I definitely did take it for granted, but the sense of community you get in a smaller, close-knit community really does make a difference. You know, you check in on your neighbours, check that everyone is okay. If anyone needs any help, everyone helps each other out where they can, and you know, it's just a lovely way of living. With that comes a slower pace of life, making sure you have time to do things correctly, not rushing from one thing to the other, and ultimately having more space and allowing the children to express themselves more without being cooped up in a shared room is something that we're looking to hopefully remedy.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed that, and if you haven't yet, please make sure to subscribe. It does help us tons. See you in the next one.